I left your heart in pain. Time again I turned and walked away. I get to where I'm going just to find. Won't be happy in this world if you're not by my side. Eddie, my love, so sweet.
He says, come down to my office Monday.
He's a lawyer who represented
8 o'clock. I went to his office 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock Monday evening. I had a passport. Tuesday morning I was on the plane to Milan, Italy.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So where'd you go in Europe?
We did 6 weeks in Europe, came back to the States. 3 days later we went and did 5 weeks in Japan.
Who said that?
That's you and I never talked about your Japan experience.
It was a tour with, it was sponsored by
Before that went, well, I won the
Grant.
office, so somebody moved out, correspondent.
Count Basie
Office was there, he said,
with
that's your office, Harold, but come in.
Roy Eldridge on trumpet.
Sure.
The Oscar Peterson Trio featuring Joe
Give
Bass.
me a date, man. You talking the
And
70s.
the Count in Ray Charles and the Raylettes in 1971.
I knew it had to be the 70s.
We did a 6-week, 5-week tour of Japan.
That's 4
And
years
at
before I ever moved
the end,
there.
Norman Granz, at the end of the concert, we would all go out on the bandstand and have a jam session.
He said, what the fuck are you talking about?
All that's in document. That's all that's documented.
Well, you know the Japanese got it. When you say Count Basie, now I have a CD of Count Basie that America doesn't even know about it. Recorded live in Japan.
And Eddie Lockjaw Davis was the straw boss.
Don't do anything. I'll have
During that time, he was the boss of the band.
DC. I was working at the White House.
I used to watch
When I came back, you no longer
Oscar Peterson and Joe
and the easy one
Bass.
told me he died
I ain't
3 months later.
That's enough.
But
No. But they did a recent project together.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I used to think they was getting ready to go broke.
That's when I get them coming.
Now, I ain't saying that.
They haven't seen no
Because
more.
next door, it was next door to our dressing room. And Norman Granz was the mediator.
Off my shit. I'm focused.
It was his thing. And you know, Norman was, he had Ella Fitzgerald, Count Basie, Ray Charles,
Impresario,
He had
yeah.
all of the cats, man. I said, whoa. But see, I had no idea what I was into at that particular time.
All this shit.
You didn't realize,
Man, that was a blessing.
you didn't realize who Norman Granz was at that time?
I knew who he was. I knew he was a big promoter.
Yeah, but you know what he did in terms of the racial history of promoting jazz. He required them because before that the brothers could not stay in the same hotel on a big schedule. And he's testified to this on video. He made sure that everybody got treated right on the road.
And he respected his music.
Yes, he did.
Fullest.
And he defended it.
That's right. Now I can say that about Norman Granz.
That's right.
But see, I left Ray in 1973. The movie that they did was from him when he started up to 1970. I joined him in 70. From 70 up to when he died was a whole nother movie. So, you know, we used to shoot 4, 5, 6 from one gig to the next.
Now tell me what that means.
4, 5, 6 is the shot, shooting craps. He used to come off the bandstand.
Wait a minute,
He had
somebody
the
had to
pass.
tell him what he shot.
4, 5, 6 with his Vernon, the valet. Vernon, he said, Cal, what's the bank? I said, the bank is 300. He said, give it to me. 11.
Let me ask you about Vernon. Is this the cat that would introduce him? That was also the MC, was he not?
He was his valet, personal valet.
Okay, I think
Are
I'm
you talking about Joe Adams?
I'm talking about Joe Adams.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and Joe Adams was fine because Ray and I was fine. Leroy Cooper was the straw boss when I joined. He was a baritone player.
Okay.
He said, Calvin, out of all the guitar players Ray had, you know you can get anything he got. I said, yeah, I know it.
Is that my wife's friend?
You see, Ray used to look at me and he used to turn around to me and say, Calvin, I said, what, Ray? He said, turn that up, please, don't let it get away.
Of course.
See, he said,
That was a
but
rare
Leroy
thing.
said, Calvin,
That might be my phone.
you know, you can get anything Ray got. I said, well, I'm aware of that. And he said, I wonder why is that? I said, because I play the blues.
What
Ray
he did
liked the
was he was
blues.
a crane
Straight.
Now, that's all it is.
And he
Straight
came up
up.
with a new
We was,
banking plan.
and hey, Ray and I was so,
Acquisitions.
we was personal
Made
friends.
the banks billions
So, you know,
of dollars. New
when he
banking.
died,
Crane
man, it
operator,
was,
white guy.
I was on the
And,
list to go to his funeral, and it was a private list. But I didn't go because I didn't want to see him. I wanted to remember him the last time I seen him. But he came. Oh man, hey.
And he came with a new band.
Now, testify about his personality. When I interviewed him over a period of years 3 times, and every time I interviewed him, it was a tougher interview because his patience was shorter, and he was, that's Ray Charles, but if he didn't have time, he didn't have time. But I was kind of a hustler, news guy. You know, so I said, come on, Brother Ray, give me 10 seconds here. And the last time I interviewed him was in Japan, 30 minutes from where I live, in a place called Hamamatsu. He opened a brand new Yamaha, the home of Yamaha, headquarters, world headquarters of Yamaha. He opened up their big arena, man, 2 years in a row on Christmas.
Ray was,
and he was ill, and he was not well.
But you see, Ray was one of the most beautiful cats that I ever met in my life. And he says, Calvin, I can't see, so all I got is my music. And he wanted his music right.
Yes, you did.
And that was all. That's what it was all about.
It was a personal thing.
It was a personal thing.
No question.
He was doing an interview with this guy. I remember this interview, and the guy asked him, said, Ray, what is the biggest problem you have not being being blind? Ray looked at him and said, hell, I can't see. Hell, I can't see.
I'm blind. That's a problem.
He said, what is the biggest problem you have being blind? Ray said, hell, I can't see. And that was
he should have added, but I can drive.
That was the end of that. I introduced Ernest Van Treese, piano player to Ray, in 1971. Ernest was with Ray up until the time he passed. Ernest Van Treese, his daughter, and Ray Charles' son had a kid together.
Who that dude do that song 911?
So they was related.
Please call 911.
It was incredible. Ray was one of the most beautiful human beings I ever met in my life.
No.
When I first joined him, I was doing recording sessions for him. I remember this one particular session that I did where Oliver Nelson was producing. And we took a break.
Oliver Nelson out of Chicago or New York?
Oliver Nelson.
Chicago.
Yeah. The Oliver Nelson.
The Oliver Nelson. Sure.
And when we took a break, went out and had lunch, came back, Oliver had dragged himself into unconsciousness. He was out on the couch. And so the guy came back in and said, Ray, we can't finish the session. Oliver's drunk, man. Ray said, oh, really? We'll put a blanket on him, cover him up, and we'll resume tomorrow. And don't mess with him.
Just leave him alone.
Leave him alone. That's how I met Oliver Nelson. One of the baddest producers, arrangers. He did. I talked to Oliver. Oliver shared some things with me. He said, Cal, he was a very bitter man because he didn't get credit for a lot of the things he did in terms of TV shows, pilots, and all of that. You know, I said,
movie scores or whatever.
Movie scores. That's right. He didn't get his credit, so he was.
And Chicago Philharmonic, from what I heard from a young brother, one of my artists in Chicago, told me about.
I understand he did all his music for Superfly. That's what I heard.
Yes,
he didn't get credit for it.
What, because it was a Stax Records was right there? What was it? A Chess Record? What was it? Mayfield.
Curtis Mayfield.
Yes, see?
And what happened to Curtis?
Paralyzed.
Hey, I ain't saying no more.
Let me stop
Excuse
right
me,
there.
don't quote me.
I'm going to stop right there.
There were times I left your heart in pain. Time again I turned and walked away. I'd get to where I'm going just to find. Won't be happy in this world if you're not by my side. Eddie, my love, so sweet.